what can I do to help my loved one?
Hmm.
And, I would hate for them to get thrown into jail or prison. I would hate for them to experience fill in the blank consequence. And I know that in my experience, in my active addiction, my parents, my loved ones, my friends, family members were in many ways trying to negotiate with me. Like, Scott, why don't you just drink a little bit less? You've got so many good reasons not to drink or not to use drugs. Or what about the girl? And what about school? And what about, and if you keep doing this, this is going to happen. We tend to kind of rely on facts and fear as the primary motivators for initiating change in someone else. I found that that's not all that personally motivating, but rather, we can find the process of change look like really building one's own desperation or recognition or realization that they need help, and then find a community or an individual or likely both that they can relate to, so that then they can reframe their life really in new ways and see themselves come to understand different ways. And I've shared before, it wasn't, all my very concerned, well-intentioned family members and loved ones couldn't do anything to get me sober. It wasn't until I had experienced this great loss, grief, recognized in this short window of grace that the road that I was on has caused so much destruction, and I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Hmm.
And I'm ready to go kind of make a phone call for help. And so oftentimes when someone asks, what can I do to help a loved one get sober, get clean, get free? Usually my first response is don't stop them, or don't prevent them from realizing or experiencing the natural consequences of their behavior, which is a really hard pill for a loved one, a parent, a spouse, someone who cares for someone else to swallow because of the great
Yeah.
fear that's built up. Well, that would be tragic. A jail sentence would be tragic. We have bailed them out. We have don't want them to get kicked out of their apartment or their
Hmm.
house. So we've paid the mortgage, or we've paid the rent for them, or we bailed them out, or we went and made the car payment, whatever it might be, because they couldn't afford it. That enables the behavior to take place. And it also, so the family members are very motivated for their loved one to change because they've been experiencing all the consequences.
Right.
It's not until the individual experiences those consequences themselves that they might have the motivation to change. And then, the family member is confused. Like, I just don't understand why they don't see it or why they don't get it. Part of that is because they haven't experienced the consequences. You've assumed those
Hmm.
consequences for them. The best thing that ever happened to me was kind of also the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. But that prompted motivation to change and do something that I otherwise wouldn't do myself.